Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joanna, and we signed up for a project management class at HPU, and suddenly found ourselves, Angela, who's below here, Emma, and myself, found ourselves in the transformation internship program with the state of Hawaii. Now, we weren't really anticipating this, but we thought, let's give it a try. Let's find out what the Department of Human Resources does and what we can do to help them. Our objective, well, first our agenda. Our project purpose was to find out how we can use social media to meet DHRD's immediate needs, particularly looking at recruiting and training. We wanted to look at the impact of social media. We talk about it all the time. And we, in particular, focused on 3 platforms, which I'll go into later. Our recommendations we'll cover, and of course, since Professor Rowland is here and it began as a project management class, I will cover the project management aspects of it so that we can all make sure that the work got done. So, social media. This is one of my favorite descriptions of social media. This is the donut edition. So on Facebook, you can like your donuts. On YouTube, you can create a video about eating a donut. Instagram, one of my favorites, is a vintage photo of your donut. And then you've got LinkedIn, which you can list all of your skills when you eat donuts. So here are some of our options. Now, our purpose was to increase social media, the presence that DHRD had in social media, by 100% by the end of 2013. Now, currently, they don't have a social media presence. Some departments do. It varies. We'll go into that a little bit more. But we wanted to determine the feasibility for our project sponsor and see what ways we could utilize social media and what impact that we would have. So now we're going to talk a little bit about, or we're going to show this great video on what can happen in a day. Okay, so thank you. So we get it. We look at our project impact and we understand that social media is having an incredible impact, and it's also impacting government and the way we look at it. So here's a screenshot of the Department of Health's Facebook page. We've got young children running. It's a great image, and it gives us an idea of what kinds of impacts we can have through this. We can increase exposure to a much larger population. give applicants an easier way to find information, exchange information with the public, increase recruiting, training options in terms of videos, and we can generally generate enthusiasm. You see images like this and you get excited. It's visual, it has rhythm, it has potential, and everybody is plugged into one platform or another. So the possibilities are endless. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about LinkedIn.
GovGirl here from a live satellite feed. That's not really true. It's just a webcam and a microphone.
I feel like I should be dedicating a song to someone.
Let's talk about 3 ways your government agency can use LinkedIn. We're talking about creating a company page for your government agency. First of all, use this government page to strengthen your brand. You have a limited ability to customize the appearance of your page, but LinkedIn does let you adjust that profile picture, which for your government agency on your company page would probably be your seal or logo. But just by even having a presence on this social tool, you're telling your citizens that you want to connect with them. LinkedIn is probably the least scary tool for governments getting started on social media. It's one of those set it and forget it type platforms because you don't have to put a whole lot of effort into it. Another customization you can do is an about section where it's basically a statement about your community or your government agency and you have a link back to your official website. Moving along. The second way your government agency can use LinkedIn is to share updates. Share an update with everyone or a targeted audience. Highlight what's going on in your agency, and users can actually comment or they can share your post. Government status updates are great because you can have text, you can have a hyperlink back to a website, and you can also link to even YouTube videos. And the third way that your government agency can use LinkedIn is social recruiting. Use LinkedIn to tap into a huge pool of professionals for your government jobs. How well is your government website and posting it in a newspaper actually doing for your recruiting? A little bit. Post those jobs on LinkedIn and then they'll be exposed to even passive candidates. Those are the people who aren't actively looking for a job. They're not posting their resume on job bulletin boards and job sites, but they might be a really good fit for that job that you have. You can post a basic link to a job, say on your website, in your status updates for free. If you really want to take advantage of LinkedIn's job tools, you can pay to have your post really highlighted to all the users that it might appeal to. But there's nothing wrong with just sticking with the free stuff. Rika! Use LinkedIn to strengthen your brand, share updates, and do social recruiting. Those are just 3 quick ways that your government agency can use LinkedIn.
All right. So DHRD's presence alone on LinkedIn would communicate that they do want to reach out to a larger audience. People find and share opportunities, as she mentioned. One of the greatest aspects of it is that it can allow us to pinpoint higher level positions. When we met with the DHRD staff, one of the constant or continuing themes that they mentioned and challenges that they had was that they couldn't find folks with the right requirements. Certain higher level positions require certifications, licensure. When you tap into LinkedIn, you have this exponential effect. It just blossoms from there, and it can help fill those positions. LinkedIn is a great place for DHRD to talk about what the department is doing, let people know who they are and what they do, and also where they need help. So we're going to move on to Facebook. Now this is one of my favorites today. This is the current Facebook page for the Department of Education. Transforming public education in Hawaii. Read the report, play the video, join the movement. I saw this page, I did all 3 things. I went to each link, there was the report. I went to the video, great video. 7.5 minutes, quick, fast, informative. Really the kind of open government that Hawaii is shooting for, and then an opportunity to get involved. So I liked that on my Facebook page, and now all of my friends will get to see what the Department of Education is up to. This is good stuff. This is exactly the kind of work that Governor Abercrombie's administration is working for. We're really excited to see and share what they're doing on Facebook. Oh, so I was supposed to introduce this Facebook video. So here we go.
Why should you try Facebook for your business? The simple answer is that it's a really unique platform to communicate with your fans, with your customer base, with potential customers. These people raise their hands, they want to learn more about your community, they're active, they want to participate in a dialogue, and this platform allows you to do so. Most marketing is like a one-way thing. You put a poster on your window front, or you run an ad, or you run a radio spot. The beauty of Facebook is that you put the power of that into the hands of your fans. If you're posting a photo or some sort of news about your business or any sort of content that people find interesting, if they connect with that, if they comment, if they share it, that actually generates stories to all their friends who they're connected with. And that's how you start to spread your brand message, creating that loyalty among your current fans, but also trying to get the message out to their friends. People are already using Facebook every day. They're already connecting with the things that are important to them. Most likely, businesses in their area. It's up to you if you want to be part of that dialogue. Facebook allows your biggest fans to advocate for you and to share your story with all of their friends so that they can learn more and hopefully become a fan themselves.
Okay, so we've seen in our 24-hour video just exactly how much happens in that 24 hours, and Facebook is a good example. Another startling statistic that I came across is if Facebook were a country, it would be the 3rd largest in the world. This is an example of the Hawaii Department of Transportation. This is a cutout of their page recently. It talks about, at any given time, they'll talk about services they're promoting, upcoming traffic closures and construction. They publicize events. They connect with citizens. You can see on the right that they've got a training going on with firefighters. A lot of possibilities there to check on the Department of Transportation's Facebook page and get an update. It's a really great way to stay informed. So we're going to move on now because we've covered it, and we're going to go to YouTube. Well, YouTube is a video sharing website. It's enormous. We've all probably been on it. I know I've been on it several times today. It's a great way to promote your brand and services by making videos available to the public. Creating sharp, crisp videos, dynamic. It's an opportunity to be creative. Not necessarily hours and hours of standing up and talking, but really targeted messages to certain people would be an option. So let's go in here, hear what she's got to say about it. She's got some good ideas.
To get an idea of what a well-rounded social media program looks like, I chatted with Nicole Sundstrom. Busy woman. She oversees social media for the entire state of Michigan.
Pretty much anything that touches social media and state government, that's my job. Michigan.gov/social media is our primary hub for all social media activity within the state of Michigan. We have an inventory there which lists all of our 137 accounts, as well as our policy, look and feel standards, and then resources.
I love when government agencies share their resources with each other. They grow up so fast. And Michigan is one to model. Remember, they just were named a top digital state by the Center for Digital Government. 2 states stand out because they got a solid A. We're talking about Michigan and Utah.
Looking at Michigan.gov social media, what are you most proud of?
Our governor has done a series of YouTube videos, which he's put out there, and those have been picked up by all kinds of different media outlets, both in print and TV news and digital.
I asked Nicole what advice she has for government agencies that are just getting started and maybe a little overwhelmed with social media.
So the things that I like to tell people are to really understand the platform that you're getting into. Each platform is treated differently. The same information or content that's good on Facebook is not necessarily good on Twitter. We also talk about finding your audience, so you don't need to be on all 3 networks at the same time. So where are the people that you're looking to reach out to? What can you emulate that other corporations or agencies similar to yours have had success with in going out there and engaging that way?
Okay. So, where to start? Our recommendation for DHRD, and we're going to be making a presentation to the staff on the 8th, is that LinkedIn is really an excellent place to start. Recruiting was mentioned over and over again as one of their top priorities in reaching out to a larger audience, particularly tech-savvy applicants that would be looking in these areas. It's a great way to brand DHRD and market it. Post videos and pictures, and then create links to YouTube as you roll out the different social medias. So Facebook would be the next step. Awareness and communication, it's got that wonderful dynamic of communicating back and forth. It gives you an opportunity to update opportunities and post events. Another thing that's important is that you absolutely have to keep your social media current. The moment it gets a little bit stale and it hasn't been updated, folks will stop going to your site. Facebook, you don't necessarily have to create a new event or hold a ceremony or record something. You can tap into what other departments are doing, like it, repost it. Perhaps you send that link on LinkedIn. You can connect in a lot of different ways to show what the state is doing overall. So it takes a little bit of pressure to create content away and just gives an opportunity for departments to brag about each other. And DHRD is connected in many ways to the different departments and in a perfect position to do that. Now, YouTube is a great platform. It does require some effort and a little bit of planning. YouTube videos that are scripted, storyboarded, have that snap, and so on, they do a little bit better. So eventually, we hope DHRD will be able to launch into YouTube by perhaps giving a training on how to apply using their website. It's a little bit of a confusing website, and for folks who are from the private sector and not familiar with public sector jobs, a video would be an excellent way to communicate a huge amount of information to the potential applicant, walk them through the process. DHRD also does training on safety and a variety of other issues. They can identify those that they do most frequently, that are short, fairly straightforward, and post them on YouTube. That would free up their limited staff to focus on areas that really need a lot more attention. So, now, a caution. Remember, you have to post wisely. The state has, the Office of OIMT has let me back up. Remember what we teach our kids. Before you post, tag, like, blog, think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? These are things that we all have to keep in mind, and we're teaching the kids. I see the posters in the public schools when I substitute all the time. And it's something for government to be mindful of as well, in addition to any policies about social media that restrict what information the government can release. So we just wanted to add that little caveat. You got to be careful before you click. Okay. So here's an example of what DHRD's network could look like very quickly. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now for a second here, that kind of gives you our general recommendations to DHRD. And I think it's an exciting topic because it has so much potential to reach such a large audience. But we've got to take care of some business too, because this is a project management class. So we're going to move on to charts. That's my favorite graphic, by the way. All right, so our project was on time. You can see it by our awesome schedule. We had plenty of float. We had a good team. We had some added, on the far right bottom, you can see we had some added requirements. We needed to meet with the DHRD staff and create an additional presentation for them. So we took that into account, got a little bit tight, but we're working on it. And we had a little bit of some change in our budget because of the increased meetings and the increased presentation. We tracked it. It wasn't a huge difference between our baseline planned and actual. Since everything was pro bono anyway, we didn't worry too much about it. We did discuss our change control processes. and followed up on that. And all agreed that it was worthwhile. Layla asked for it to be done, so it shall be done. Lessons learned. From the initiating and planning aspect, we would have done one thing in particular different. Since project management and TIP kind of collided right at the beginning of the semester, we would have met with our sponsor at the beginning with our project charter instead of waiting for the deadline for the class. It just gave us a little bit of a lag, and required us to change our project charter a little bit. For executing and controlling, we would have liked to have known about some of the meetings and things that we needed to do beforehand. So some discussions about expectations would have been a good idea, but again, it's a small project and it went really well. So overall, for project management, we had a slight creep in our scope. Time was not a problem because we had plenty of float. And on communication, you can always communicate better. So, lessons learned. Any questions, comments, observations? Thank you.